Mario? Mario?
Luigi's Mansion premiered on the GameCube in 2001, and it took over a decade to get a sequel with Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon on the Nintendo 3DS in 2013. Now, 6 years after the release of Dark Moon, we are finally getting a third entry in the franchise with Luigi's Mansion 3. The first two games are generally viewed favorably by fans and critics, but will the return of Luigi's Mansion to the home console after almost 20 years be worth the wait? Grab your flashlight and plug in your vacuum because it's time to review Luigi's Mansion 3 on the Nintendo Switch. Luigi and friends are off on another vacation, this time to the Last Resort, which is a really fancy hotel that they were mysteriously invited to by Helen Gravely, who we very quickly learn is our new antagonist and is in cahoots with the recently freed King Boo. Almost immediately, Mario, Peach, and the Toads are captured, and it's up to Luigi to save the day again. In order to save his friends, Luigi needs to ride an elevator to the top floor of the hotel to defeat Helen and King Boo. But all the buttons in the elevator are missing. To get to the top floor, he must defeat boss ghosts on each floor, retrieve the missing elevator buttons, and continue his journey upwards. In addition to Mario, Princess Peach, and the Toads, Professor Egad also returns. He's still up to his old tricks, using the green-clad Mario brother as his guinea pig while he researches paranormal activity, and, once again, equips Luigi with a poltergust to capture the ghosts that were recently freed by Helen Gravely and now inhabit the hotel. The hotel design is fantastic. It's vivid and alive with spooky ghosts around every corner. The stark lighting change from the welcoming golden day to the terrifying dark night really sets the tone for the game. A lot of care went into the excellent animation, vibrant characters, and haunting world. Luigi and his ghost rivals are extremely expressive, both with their facial animations and their wacky body movements. The humor in this game is just delightful. The interactions with the ghosts and the way they play off each other is comical and lighthearted. I found myself laughing out loud many times at the goofy situations, which I won't spoil for you. The music matches the environments perfectly and additionally helps to set the tone. I really felt like I was traversing a haunted hotel. When sucking up a ghost, the music becomes frantic, and I felt as panicked as Luigi trying to capture every ghost. Occasionally, the music would change when sucking up a particular ghost, like Polterkitty, and add another thematic element on top of the frantic tunes. These minor musical changes just add to the polish and show the amount of love the developers put into the title. I even enjoyed listening to the elevator music during the load sequences between floors. One negative in the sound department is the horrific beeping that occurs when Luigi's health is low. The lower his health gets, the louder and more frequent the beeps become. And in certain situations, finding a heart to refill Luigi's health wouldn't be easily accessible, so the beeping would keep going and going and going. This is a problem in many games, but it is especially prevalent in Luigi's Mansion 3. Each floor has its own unique theme: a museum, a medieval castle, and an overgrown garden, just to name a few. My favorite being Paranormal Productions, a movie studio on the 8th floor. Without any spoilers, I really enjoyed both the puzzle structure of that floor and its final boss. It was something we haven't seen in the franchise yet, and it was an absolute joy to complete. Luigi can interact with almost everything in the game, like trash cans, books, a pile of donuts, billiard balls, like I said, pretty much everything. There were times I would get distracted by cleaning a room and watching how great the physics engine worked instead of actually saving Luigi's friends. This time around, there is one major upgrade to Luigi's poltergust, aka his vacuum backpack. Egad upgrades the device to give Luigi a new co-op partner, Luigi, Luigi can walk on spikes, slide through grates, and enter pipes, and work hand in hand with Luigi to solve puzzles. The greatest thing about Luigi is not the added complexity of puzzle design, even though that is a huge plus, but it makes the game co-op at any time. Seriously, you can just pause, turn the game to co-op mode, and keep going with a friend. And when you want to go back to solo mode, you pause again, select solo, and you regain control of Luigi. I will say, playing with a friend makes the game much easier. You can solve puzzles faster, and you can make defeating some bosses a piece of cake by attacking them in tandem. In addition to playing co-op in the story mode, you can also play with friends in Scream Park and Scare Scraper. They are good fun and worth some time, and they add some replayability even if you 100% the main campaign. In these modes, you can either work together or against each other to capture ghosts and complete objectives. Most ghosts you will encounter during the campaign are the same with small twists. Occasionally a ghost would wear something to protect their eyes from the flashlight or hold a shield that you would need to pull off with the plunger, but there were always the same 4 or 5 types of ghosts, and towards the end it felt a little repetitive. In contrast, the boss ghosts were great. Each could be defeated in its own unique way, they were original and fun, but it's worth noting that occasionally the way to defeat a boss was not immediately apparent, and I would end up dying just troubleshooting how to capture them. And I am inclined to chalk that up to bad game design and not difficulty, because once I figured out the way to thwart the boss, it was smooth sailing to finish the fight and retrieve the elevator button. Although the game is pretty linear, the pacing is great. If you get stuck or bored, you can just revisit previous floors to find undiscovered gems, treasure, or hidden booze. I found myself wanting to hunt booze just because I knew the game was coming to a close and I wasn't ready for it to end. It took me about 14 hours to finish the main campaign, which is a decent amount of time, and I only achieved B rank, meaning there was much more treasure to collect and booze to discover and capture. I wish the story was a tad longer, but it's double the length of the original game, and it's about the same completion time as its predecessor Dark Moon. I hoped that since this game was released on the Switch, a much more powerful system than the 3DS with cartridges that can hold more data, that the game would be a touch longer, maybe 20 floors instead of 15, but I might be nitpicking. Another negative I found were with the less than perfect controls. Almost everything is mapped to the shoulder buttons, which is great because you need to constantly aim with the right stick, and pushing the face buttons would be awkward while aiming. However, 2 commands, the burst and dark light, require you to hit both ZL and ZR or L and R at the same time, and if you don't hit them perfectly, you might miss your jump or fire off a random plunger. Minor control issues aside, Luigi's Mansion 3 is a well-developed and executed game. Its wacky gameplay and overall charm put this game up among some of the best first-party Nintendo games on the Switch. I wish it was a little bit longer, but that's just a testament to how much fun I was having. All that being said, we here at the Game Pack give Luigi's Mansion 3 an 8.5 out of 10. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to the Game Pack for more reviews, news, and other gaming content. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.